Okay. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter what the hell rolled out at Photokina, right? The only thing that matters is what the hell rolled out this year. Now, while Nikon did really plop a stinky turd down on the Nikon D5, which is an overpriced poop bucket, and it really is. It's got an AA filter, same megapixel count as the Nikon D500. It does have a dual processor for autofocus tracking. It is really useful for stupid, insane high ISO, which is basically where none of us shoot. There's like that many people that shoot super insane high ISO. You're paying $4,500 extra for. I feel so. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. If you bought a Nikon D5, I just want to say, oh God, I feel so sorry for you. You either are a hardcore Nikon fanboy, or you're just not smart enough to know any better, or you're using it as a photojournalist and it's basically free. It's a tax write-off, in which case it's a fine photojournalistic camera. Ultimately, the camera is just a poop bucket. However, the Nikon D500 is silk, sex, and sugar. It's a old southern saying that makes people laugh, because when I say it, people really laugh. They call it a bucket of tits. Tougher than woodpecker lips. The Nikon D500, it's incredible. So who's the huge loser this year? Who would you rather not be the least? Who would you absolutely not want to be? Would it be Sony? Sony has now created their own war, which is really stupid. It's either extremely stupid move or it's incredibly ingenious, awful move. What do I mean by that? It means Sony's created its own Betamax versus VHS war. Now they've revived the dead corpse of the A-mount. I'm thinking that Sony is not that stupid. And I'm thinking that Sony now wants you to buy a whole new series of the same crap you already have an E-mount, except now for A-mount. It's like, now I've got two systems. I really love Sony. I've got an E-mount with a bunch of lenses, but now there's this new camera. It's the A-mount, the A99 II. You know, there's still a bunch of A-mount lenses out there, except they suck. And you can't put E-mount on A-mount, but you can put A-mount on E-mount. And so they're going to try to peddle a bunch new lenses to suckers. I mean, people. Or they've made just a ginormous mistake. Because I know they're listening to people like, where's the love for the A-mount owners? Where's the love for the A-mount owners? And so they came out with an A-mount camera. And then everybody with an E-mount, like A7 series, they went, dope! That's very smart. It's like, yeah, we're a company that just introduced our own war. We've got A-mount and E-mount now. Not a very smart move. Maybe we should have focused on customer service and, product support and the ecosystem, I honestly think that this venture is going to crash and burn. It's kind of be like the guy that's got like 2 wives and a mistress. He spends the weekends with his other wife and Wednesdays with his mistress. And eventually they all meet at the grocery store and then his ass is fried. I'm just about certain that's what's going to happen. So, who's worse this year? Canon, a huge company. I actually like Canon. I don't hate Canon at all. But everybody with 2 brain cells admits that that camera is a pile of poo. Even the guy, I won't say, on the bottom side of the earth, I mean, he tested it and proved that there were banding when you're pushing it 4 stops. Hardcore banding? That's bad. There's one crazy dude on the YouTube who's like, oh my god, I gotta buy it, it's a Canon. And then even he gets it and he's like, oh, this sucks. And he sends it back. Jesus Christ, I mean, 1 minute of 4K video is 5 gigabytes. I mean, what a turd muffin. I mean, what a poo nugget. I mean, it's just a poo nugget. It's like people waited that many years for a camera. I mean, Jesus, $3,500 for that poo nugget? If you're a Nikon fanboy, you're going to rationalize that poo nugget some way. It's like, well, you know, it's ultimately about the photography. I've heard so many people rationalizing this crap, the hardcore Canon fanboys. Well, you know, the professional wedding photographers are really going to like it. The reviews have been rolling in, and they ain't good. Even the people that are diehard, they're like, damn, man, this camera sucks. I don't know who... I mean, it's almost like Sony could go, at least we weren't Canon this year. How could Canon do something that stupid? You know, if... Obviously, they're going into mirrorless. They've got the M5 now, which actually looks like a halfway decent camera. You sure as hell isn't within 1,000 miles of this camera. But it looks like a decent camera. Really, it does look like a decent camera. I don't hate Canon. So who do you think fared worse this year? Everybody, even people that don't like Fuji, said, the people that I talked to at Photokina, and it's very obvious, Fuji just wiped their ass with everybody else. I mean, Fuji used Nikon and Sony and Canon, and they just wiped their ass. Fuji used all those companies, and they wiped their ass this year at Photokina. They did. They did. There's no denying it. Fuji wiped their ass with Canon, Nikon, and Sony. They did. That's Photokina. What about for the year? Man, the D500 is just effing incredible. That XQD card, the autofocus, the low light capability is mind-boggling. I mean, I showed people, you know, I cranked that up to 40,000 ISO. I couldn't see crap. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face, literally. I took a picture and it was decent enough, as it was out of camera for an 8x10. With some noise, like Topaz denoise processing, it would have been... even the Fuji X-T2 couldn't step to that. No. You know, I have to be realistic and honest, for God's sakes. There is no perfect camera. There's never going to be. The D500 is an effing beast. Nikon kicked some hardcore ass this year. D500, just a winner. I was the first person making videos about the D500. I told everybody this camera is going to be legendary, and there's a bunch of people that hate me, like, oh, you're so full of crap. And then it's exactly what happened. It's exactly. Now, every time I talk about anything, someone says, well, how's it compared to the D500? How does this compare to the D500? What about the D500? Is it as good as the D500? What about the D500? I mean, I hear that all the time. When somebody compares everything, to the D500, that means it has become the standard by which everything else is judged. Meaning I was right on the money. My accuracy rate is a lot higher than the other guys combined. I wonder if that means anything. I wonder if that means anything. Either means I'm more insightful, or more intelligent, or I keep my eyes open more, or all of the above. I'm going with all of the above. Yeah. So, who do you think was the loser of 2016? And don't say it's me. I know that as soon as I say that, someone's going to say, you're the loser of 2016. Because there's always somebody that wants to piss in my Cheerios. You know, I love it every time. You know, every 2 hours, just like clockwork, somebody comes along and just pees in my Cheerios, metaphorically speaking. You know, like the like the crazy dude that made a 2-hour and 20-minute video yesterday, naked. He was naked, smoking on something, and he spent 2 hours and 20 minutes cussing at me. I laughed so hard. I mean, I was doubled over laughing all day yesterday so hard. I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I thought that was awesome. No, really, I do love to laugh. I thought that was awesome. It's like, it doesn't get any better when someone spends 2 hours and 20 minutes cussing you while they're naked, with the crazy eyes, smoking something. Naked crazy eye cussing you for 2 I love to laugh. I laughed so hard I almost died yesterday. Literally, I did. Catch you later. Bye.